Welcome back, students. In the previous video, we have discussed some of the questions related to the Asian book of yours. Continuing that particular question and answers only. And in this video, we are going to discuss some of the more questions related to your Asian only. Okay. So now moving with the next question, that is a fill up the blanks question. And in this fill in the blank questions, let's see what it is asking here. Okay, so in the fill in the blank question, first question it is asking here, chemical equation are balanced to satisfy the law of dash. Okay, the chemical equations are balanced to satisfy the law of dash. So here, what will be the answer? What we want to satisfy, how, which particular law we want to satisfy during balancing a chemical equation. Okay, so we know that in a particular chemical equation we are balancing the left hand side of a chemical equation with the right hand side of a chemical equation, and here what we are balancing the number of atoms. We are balancing the number of atoms on both the sides. And if we are balancing the number of atoms on the both the sides, it means we are balancing what? We are balancing their masses. Okay, we are balancing their masses, means the number of the masses of atoms present in the left hand side must be equal to the number of the masses of atom present at the right hand side. Okay, so here which law is being satisfied here? Here the law of conservation of mass is been satisfied here. Law of conservation of mass is been satisfied here. Okay, what is the second question asking here? A solution made in water is known as an dash solution and indicated by dash symbol. Okay, so a solution which is made by water, it is being called as an aqueous solution. Aqueous, aqueous solution, and it is represented by AQ symbol in a chemical equation. Okay, so this was the particular the representation for an solution which has been made in water. It is called as aqueous solution, and it is indicated by a symbol AQ there. Okay, so this thing has been known to you when we have studied the chemical equation. Now let's move further. See the next question. Give one example of each of a chemical reaction. One example of a chemical reaction. State two characteristics of the chemical reaction which takes place when dilute sulfuric acid is poured over zinc granules. Okay, it is asking us to give the two characteristics of the chemical reaction when we are pouring dilute sulfuric acid on zinc granules. Also, it is asking give two characteristics of a chemical reaction which occurs on adding potassium iodide solution. Okay, potassium iodide solution to lead nitrate solution. Okay, so here the question is asking we have to give the different characteristics for the two reactions. That is, one is to pour dilute sulfuric acid on zinc granules, and other one is to make a solution of potassium iodide solution and a lead nitrate solution there. So first we must give an example for a chemical reaction. So the first example is for a chemical reaction we are taking an example of magnesium ribbon. Okay, magnesium ribbon, it is heated in the presence of air. When we heat the magnesium ribbon in the presence of air, a white powder is formed. Okay, a white powder has been obtained out, which is magnesium oxide. So the chemical reaction here, it becomes Mg plus O2 gives MgO. In order to balance it, 2 will be added here, 2 here. So it will become 2MgO, 2Mg plus O2 gives 2MgO. Okay, so this is the chemical reaction where the white powder is nothing other than this magnesium oxide, which is white in color and powdered. Okay, like this. Next, the second question here was when we were adding dilute sulfuric acid. Okay, when we were adding dilute sulfuric acid over zinc granules, then what was the reaction which was taking place here? Okay, so here when we were adding dilute sulfuric acid with over zinc granules, then what will happen here? Here the zinc will the zinc will displace here. Okay, the zinc will displace here the hydrogen from the H2SO4. Okay, and what will happen? ZnSO4 will be formed out, plus H2 gas will be released out here, and heat will be also released out here. The heat will be also released out here. There will be a rise in temperature for the solution here. Okay, so hence we will find out that here displacement reaction has been occurred, and zinc has replaced the hydrogen from its H2SO4. Okay, so this was the reaction which has taken place when zinc granule has been treated with sulfuric acid. Next, when potassium iodide is been treated with potassium iodide is been treated with lead nitrate, then what happens? PbNO3 plus what was the another compound? The another compound was, I think so, potassium iodide. Okay, Ki. When lead nitrate is being treated with potassium nitrate, Ki plus PbNO3, here what will happen? Here exchange of ions will take place. Okay, exchange of ions, cations will take place, and Pb Pbi will be formed, and K2 KNO3 will be formed. Okay, PbI2 will be formed and KNO3 will be formed. So PbI2, okay, PbI2 and KNO3 will be formed out here. Okay, so this will be the reaction which is formed out here, and this PbI2 will become in the form of yellow precipitate here. Okay, so from colorless, this solution will become yellow colored, which shows that the reaction has taken place here, and lead iodide has been precipitated. Okay, let's move further and see the next reaction. What is a chemical equation? Explain with the help of an example. We have to explain with the help of an example that what is a chemical equation. Next, give an example. State the difference between balanced and chemical balanced equation. Chemically unbalanced and chemical balanced equation, we have to state the difference between them, and also balance the given these two equations. Okay, so first question, what is a chemical equation? So the method of representation of a chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formulae of substances involved in it is called a chemical equation. Okay, the method of representing a chemical reaction with the help of different symbols. In these symbols, we generally use mathematical symbols also and alphabetical symbols also, and the chemical formulas for the different compounds or different substances which is involved in this type of chemical reaction is called an chemical equation. That particular equation is termed as chemical equation. Okay, next, here we can take an example of zinc metal reacts with dilute sulfuric acid to form zinc sulfate, and hydrogen gas is being evolved out here. So here, if I am writing the chemical equation, then it will become Zn plus H2SO4, where ZnSO4 is formed and H2 gas is released out here. So it is a chemical reaction, which is the representation of a, sorry, it is a chemical equation, which is the representation of the chemical reaction which is taking place between zinc metal and the hydrogen sulfuric acid. Okay, let's move further and see the third question, that is next question, that is the difference between balanced and chemically unbalanced equation. So balanced chemical equation has equal number of atoms of different elements in the reactant and the product side. Means on the left hand side and on the right hand side, the number of the atoms which are involved are equal on both the sides. Okay, it has equal masses of various elements in the reactant and the product side. The masses of the elements which are participating in the chemical reaction, it will be equal there. Okay, for example, ZnH2SO4 gives ZnSO4 plus H2. Here on the both side you will see that equal number of Zn atom is, equal number of hydrogen atom is there, equal number of sulfur atom is there and equal number of oxygen atoms there, and no change in their masses is also observed out here. Second, an unbalanced chemical equation has an equal number of atoms of one or more elements in the reactant and the product side. It has unequal masses of various elements in the reactant and the product side, and due to the unequal numbers, okay, due to presence of unequal numbers in the reactant and the product side, so what will happen, they will have unequal masses also there, okay, they will have unequal masses also there, and hence we will call that type of equations as unbalanced equation. So here example is H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O, okay, H2 plus O2 gives 2H2O here. So here you can see that 2 hydrogen plus 2 oxygen gives 2 hydrogen. No, it is not the correct answer. The correct answer will be like this: H plus H2 plus O2 gives 2H2. Ah, yes, it is correct. Because 4 hydrogen is there and only 2 hydrogen is present here. So it is a chemically unbalanced equation. Okay. Let's move further and see the last question, that is that has asked us to balance the chemical equation. So it was NH3 plus N2 plus H2. N2 plus H2 gives NH3. So here for balancing it, we must multiply 3 here and we must multiply 2 here. Then what will happen? The chemical equation will get balanced out here. Okay. Here also C plus CO2. Okay, C plus CO2. This was the question. Let me check. C plus CO2 gives CO. Okay, C plus CO2 gives CO. So here what will happen? C plus CO2 gives CO. This was the question. So here 2 carbon is there. So here must be 2 carbon. Okay, and 2 oxygen is here. So after multiplying 2 here, 2 oxygen has been balanced out here. So yeah, hence this is the chemically balanced equation. Only 2 has to be multiplied in the left hand side, right hand side of the chemical equation. Okay, so these were the chemical balanced equation which has been asked in the question. Next, when hydrogen passed over copper oxide and steam are formed, write a chemical balanced equation. When hydrogen is passed over copper oxide, copper and steam are formed. Write a balanced chemical equation for this reaction and state which of the chemicals are chemicals are element, compounds, reactants, product, metals, non-metals. Okay, so for the given reaction, for the given chemical reaction, hydrogen gas is been passed over copper oxide to give copper plus steam. It means that water is there but in the form of gas. Okay, so here first, which is element? So element is hydrogen. Okay, this is the element here. Which is compound? Copper oxide is compound and water is compound here. These both are compound here. Compound. Reactants. So the reactants are the hydrogen gas and the copper oxide here. Products are the copper and the water here. These are the products. Okay, and next is metal. Okay, so here copper is metal. Copper is metal rather than all others are non-metals here. And non-metals. So non-metals are hydrogen and oxygen. Both these are non-metals. Okay. So the question for the given answer, the answer for the given question is been answered out here. Next, what are the various ways in which a chemical equation can be made more informative? Give example to illustrate your answer. Write balanced chemical equation for the following information. An aqueous calcium hydroxide solution, that is lime water, is reacted with the carbon dioxide gas to produce a solid calcium carbonate precipitate and water. Okay, so here the question is asking that what are the various ways to make a chemical equation more informative. So what were the first way is by indicating the physical states of the chemical reactants and products. Okay, by representing the physical state, that is solid, liquid or gases, by S, L and G. Okay, in the of the given elements in the chemical reaction, we can easily make them more informative. We can make the chemical equation more informative. For example, Zn, which is solid here, so I am writing S here. H2SO4, which is taken in aqueous solution here, so I am writing it is taken in water, so therefore it is represented as aqueous solution here. ZnSO4, which is aqueous solution here, and H2, which is gas here. Okay, so all these things is being used to represent the different states of matter in states of the elements present in the chemical reaction by indicating the heat change taking place in the reaction. Okay, for example, for an exothermic reaction, the heat is written in the product side, and for an endothermic reaction, the heat is written in the reactant side there. Okay, so hence by using the by representing the heat also, we can make a chemical equation more informative by indicating the condition under which the reaction takes place. Okay, by using the condition, by indicating the conditions also, we can make a reaction more informative. For example, if we are heating, then delta is being used to represent the heat. If you are increasing the pressure, then we write the amount of pressure. If you are increasing the temperature, then we are writing the amount of temperature being increased out there. Okay, so by using these different types of things, we are making a chemical reaction equation more informative. Next, last question has asked out there that calcium hydroxide is reacted with carbon dioxide to form calcium carbonate and water there. So the chemical balance chemical reaction is written here. COH twice aqueous plus CO2 gas gives CaCO3, which is a solid precipitate, and water is being produced out there. Okay, so this is nothing other than lime water milky test. Okay, making a lime water milky test it is. Next, moving further, what is a chemical balanced equation? Why should a chemical equation be balanced? Aluminium bonds to chlorine to form aluminium chloride. Okay, aluminium is being burnt out in chlorine to form aluminium chloride. Write a chemical balanced equation for this reaction. Add potassium metal reacts with water to give potassium hydroxide and hydrogen gas. Write a balanced chemical equation for this reaction also. Okay, so we have to write the chemical balance equation for the given reactions, and we have to give the reason why we are balancing a chemical equation, why it is necessary to balance the chemical equation. So the answer is chemical equation has equal number of atoms on the different elements in the reactant and product side is known as a chemical balance equation. It has equal number of masses of various elements in the reactant and product side, and hence to in order to satisfy the law of conservation of masses. Okay, law of conservation of masses, a chemical equation is to be balanced out there. It is necessary to balance the chemical equation there. Because without balancing the chemical equation, we cannot satisfy the law of conservation of mass. Next, for the given question where it was asking to give two chemical balance equation for aluminium reacting with chlorine. So here it will be 2Al plus 3Cl2 gives 2AlCl3. Okay, similarly for potassium reacting with water there, it will give 2K plus 2H2O gives 2KOH plus H2 gas is been released out there. Okay, so this is the chemically balanced equation for the given two reactions to us. Next, question number 22. Here it is asking explain with example how the physical states of the reactants and products can be shown in a chemical equation. Balance the given chemical equation. Okay, convey the following information in the form of balanced chemical equation. An aqueous solution of ferrous sulfate reacts with aqueous solution of sodium hydroxide to form precipitate of ferrous hydroxide, and sodium sulfate remains in solution. Okay, so we have to give the chemical balance equation for the given reaction, for the given condition also. Let's move further and answer this question. The physical state of chemical reactants and products are shown by putting the state symbols, that is generally taken as for solids it is taken as S, for liquids it is taken as L, for gases it is taken as G, and for aqueous solution, which is water solutions, okay, aqueous solutions, it is taken as AQ. And using this SLQ, SLG, and AQ, we are representing the states of the given substances in the chemical equation and making it more informative. Next, Zn plus 2HCl gives ZnCl2 aqueous plus H2 gas has been released out here. Okay, so 2 is multiplied here, 2HCl, in order to balance the chemical equation. Then ferrous sulfate is reacted with NaOH here. So on multiplying 2 with NaOH, what will happen here? We will get ferrous hydroxide FeOH twice plus Na2SO4. Okay, so here the chemically balanced equation has been found out. We have multiplied 2 with NaOH on the reactant side. Next, moving further, and let's see the next question, that is write any two observations in an activity which may suggest that a chemical reaction has taken place. Give an example in support to your answer. So first, how we can say that a chemical reaction has been taken, okay, has been taken place. So first, the observation which can be taken here as evolution of gas. If some gas is been evolved out, then we can say that yes, a chemical equation, a chemical reaction has taken place here. For example, when sodium carbonate reacts with dilute HCl, carbon dioxide is been released out there. Okay, so what happens? Sodium carbonate Na2CO3 is reacted with HCl, then here 2NaCl is been formed out, and H2 gas, H2O, and CO2 gas has been released out. Okay, so here we will see that this kind of reaction has been taking place. Okay, so here this evolution of CO2 gas will show that the reaction has taken place. Next, formation of precipitate. When some solid substances has been formed mixing two liquid substances, then it is also a representation of a chemical reaction only, which is known as precipitation. So for this, when potassium iodide is been added to a when potassium iodide solution is been added to a lead nitrate solution. Okay, there what will happen, they are yellow colored, the whole colorless solution. Okay, these two are colorless solution. It will convert into a yellow colored solution there, uh, because here PbNO3 is converted to PbI2, and 2KNO3 will be formed out. Okay, so this is the reaction which is taken place, and hence we will get a yellow colored solution here, which was colorless before. So that color change here, it will represent that the chemical reaction has taken place. Okay, this type of reactions is termed as precipitation reaction. They are termed as precipitation reaction. Next question is asking here, aluminium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid to form aluminium sulfate and water. Write a chemical balance equation here. And we have to also balance the given chemical equation, MnO2 plus HCl, MnCl2 plus Cl2 plus H2. Okay, so let's balance these two chemical equations. First, aluminium hydroxide is reacted with sulfuric acid to form aluminium sulfate, Al2SO4 thrice, plus water, okay, H2O. So in order to balance here, 12, so 12, 2 if I am multiplying here, then what will happen? 2Al, oxygen 3 into 2, 6. 6 plus 4, only 10 is there, but here we require how much? Okay, let's make it 2 also here, then multiply 2 here. Sorry, 3. Let's multiply 3 here and make it 6 here, plus 6H2O. Then it will get balanced out here. Here you can see that 2Al thrice plus 3H2SO4 gives Al2SO4 thrice plus 6H2O. Yes, this will become a chemically balanced equation. Next, MnO2 plus HCl. MnO2 plus HCl gives MnCl2 plus Cl2 plus H2O. Here 2 oxygen, here only 1 oxygen is there. Here 1 Mn, 1 Mn, Cl, 4 Cl is there. Okay. So if I am multiplying 4 here, 4 HCl. Okay. So chlorine has been balanced out, but hydrogen has been disbalanced here. So 4 HCl, 2 H2. Now it is balanced. Yes. Now it is balanced. Yes. On multiplying 4 with HCl here, 4 hydrogen will react with 2 oxygen to form 2 H2O. So there, yes, now 4 chlorine is there, 4 chlorines are being present out here, and hence the chemical balancing is done here. Next, write the balanced chemical equation for the following reactions and add the symbols. Okay, so first, magnesium carbonate reacting with hydrogen chloric acid to produce magnesium chloride and carbon dioxide and water. Sodium hydroxide reacts with sulfuric acid to produce sodium sulfate and water. Okay, so here Mg, magnesium carbonate plus HCl gives MgCl2 plus CO2 plus H2O. Okay, so here 2 is been multiplied to HCl in order to produce a CO2 and a H2O here, and Cl2 is been produced out here. Okay, so the equation is chemically balanced. NaOH plus H2SO4 was there first, but we have multiplied 2 here. So 2 NaOH plus H2SO4 gives Na2SO4 plus 2H2O. Okay, so you can see here all the chemical equations are balanced out here. Okay, so hence using this way we can chemically balance equation. Next, carbon monoxide reacts with hydrogen under certain conditions to form methanol, CH3OH. Write chemically balanced equation for this reaction indicating states of reactants and products as well as the condition under which the reaction takes place. The condition for this reaction to take place are a pressure of 300 atmospheric pressure is required, a temperature of 300 degrees Celsius is required, and a catalyst which is a mixture of zinc oxide and chromium oxide is been required out here. So on writing the chemical reaction here, the chemical equation here, the reaction will become like this. Carbon monoxide CO reacts with hydrogen gas to form methanol CH3OH. But here 300 degrees Celsius temperature, 300 atm pressure, and ZNO plus CrO3 will be required out. So this thing we have to mention out here. So this is the chemically balanced and proper mentioned equation. Okay. I think so it is not chemically balanced. 314. So for 4, 2H2 will be required. Now it is chemically balanced. Okay. So this is the reaction which has been required out here. Next question. Potassium chlorate on heating forms chlorine and oxygen. Okay, it is asking here the potassium chlorate on heating forms potassium chloride and oxygen. Write the chemically balanced equation for this reaction indicating evolution of gas. Rewrite the following information in the form of a balanced chemical equation. Magnesium burns in carbon dioxide to form magnesium oxide and carbon. Okay, so here when we are writing that potassium chlorate has been burned is heated to form potassium chloride and oxygen. Okay, so in order to balance it, what we will do, we will take 2 KCl 6. Okay, so 2 KCl will be released out here and 3 O2 will be released out here. Okay, So this will be the chemically balanced equation here. Next, for magnesium burns with carbon dioxide. Magnesium burns with carbon dioxide to form 2Mg plus C. So 2 he will be multiplied here. So this is the chemically balanced equation. Okay. So for this particular session, I am concluding here only, and we will solve some of the more questions in the next session. Okay, so these are some of the important questions which we are solving here. So please follow this video and try to copy all these questions in your copy. Okay, and I will provide this PDF on the end of the video which I am posting. So thank you for watching this video. We will meet in our next session. Thank you.